Hello and welcome to a new video. Taking the Honda Navi out for a ride. It's getting pretty close to sunset. I'm currently on Newburgh Road. I'm right by the entrance to Bellarmine University, over on the right. There's UofL Peace Hospital on top of the hill. It was kind of an interesting looking sky earlier, so I thought it might be worth going out and getting a ride in that I record some video of. Probably going to hit every single red light down through here, but I can use the power of editing to cut through this one. Alright, yeah, back on the move. I'm approaching Eastern Parkway. It's up here a little bit. To the left is it's a cemetery. Pretty big one. There's a number of large cemeteries in the general vicinity. I believe that one's the Calvary Cemetery. And then down Baxter Avenue, Bardstown Road, there's Cave Hill. And then also down Barrett Avenue, there is the St. Louis Cemetery. And I cannot remember, with all the rides I've gone on and recorded video of, what all exact routes that I've gone on before. But now I'm on Eastern Parkway. The Navi's got over 1,300 miles on it now. So it's got a pretty decent amount of miles. There's a lot of interesting houses along Eastern Parkway. Because there's Eastern Parkway, Southern Parkway, Northwestern Parkway. I have to check to see if there are other roads called something Parkway. Now I'm going to turn on to Goss Avenue. So this is going through the Germantown area, and I know that I have gone through here before and recorded videos a number of times. But I don't know that I've gone through from this direction before, or at this time of day. Oh, the infamous train is out. Yeah, anybody that lives in a neighborhood that has a train that can gum up traffic for a considerable chunk of time probably hates going somewhere and then hitting the road and you look ahead and you see the train. Luckily, I'm not constrained to going any specific way, so I can just cut through these side streets if I want, which I will do. I'm not going to wait the train. But luckily, I don't have any particular routes that I have to take, and it'd be commonplace for there to be a train, with train tracks that cross it. Because there is, it is pretty not fun if you're on your way home and you need to use the restroom very, very badly, and you look ahead and you see a train on the tracks that just started, or if you're late to work or something. Yeah, so I'm going to cut across here. Instead of waiting for the train. I know I've gone through some of these areas before in other videos, because this isn't super far from the campus of UofL, the University of Louisville. And it's just on the outskirts of Germantown and other neighborhoods. Yeah, that was on Merriweather Avenue. That was just on. I'm turning on to Burnett. And there's the train. Got to cut around having to wait for the train to get through. It's now I'm down the street from the UofL campus. And it's the weather today has been beautiful. It's been a beautiful day, with the highs in the high 70s, low 80s, nice and sunny. Now it's getting to be a little bit chillier, especially since I'm on the bike in motion, but Going through the roundabout. There's the train again. Yeah, and that's the roundabout, not the turning circle as I called it one time. Because when you're in, you know, the Southeast, the Midwest, the South, you know, different parts of the U.S., roundabouts are not super common across the entire city. And there's a lot of times there's stuff that you don't use super frequently. You might blank on what it's actually called and just default to calling it something that is a literal description of what it is. So this is Cardinal Boulevard. I know I've gone for a number of rides through the general UofL and Old Louisville area. And I try not to record videos of places that I've been multiple times. But to get to different parts of the city on the Navi can take quite a while. Because you can't take it on the expressway. And the way a lot of cities in the U.S. are laid out, if you're not taking the interstate system and the highway, it can take quite a while to get places. You have to go on kind of a roundabout way to get there. Because on one of the recent videos I recorded, I went to Dixie Highway, and I initially wasn't sure how far I was going to go. I was just going to see how long it took. And, you know, I wanted to go a little bit further, but the amount of time it was going to take me to get home made the overall ride super long, so I was kind of ready to go when I ended the video. So currently I'm on 4th Street, going towards downtown Louisville. If you've followed the news at all, there were some not good things that happened in Louisville recently. I don't know that I'll be going around any of the areas where that stuff happened here in April of 2023. But, you know, on the positive note, you know, I think I've mentioned before on different parts of, you know, I've gone on rides to different areas. The city of Louisville, and a lot of the Midwest and the South, isn't really a walkable city. You can't really just, you know, have people over to visit, walk from your house to go get dinner or drinks or what have you, and then walk back. It almost always involves driving somewhere and parking. But Old Louisville is one of the neighborhoods where, in a lot of cases, you can walk places. And not just have to drive everywhere. And then there are other areas you can do that as well, like specific neighborhoods in the Highlands or in the Frankfort Avenue area. Or if you know, have a specific instance where your house is across the street from a restaurant or bar or something, but you know, a lot of the city's not super walkable. And I'm just continuing along on 4th Street as I approach downtown Louisville. I'm going to be turning onto St. Catherine Street from 4th Street, just to change things up. And a lot of this, these are neighborhoods that I've, gone through before, and I would spend more time in some of these areas back when I was in college and went to the University of Louisville and lived in the dorms and lived over in this vicinity, but in this area, but not somewhere I drive through all that super often currently. It's always interesting when you, well, I guess there's the stop sign, but there's the flashing red lights. It's a very interesting looking sky off in the distance. It's kind of a modern style home. No outlet. Oh, no outlet here. Alright, well, I'll turn around. I'll turn left onto 8th Street. Because it is interesting in these areas. There's a lot of mixture of stuff that used to be like industrial areas that some of it's still in use. Like, it looks like this is in use. Some stuff isn't. And some stuff's been kind of abandoned for quite a while. I guess I'll go right. And then left. And it's that time of year when it's starting to be, spring-like weather, where there aren't a ton of bugs out yet, but they're coming. So, I almost always wear full face helmets on ride, the faster e-bikes or this Honda Navi motorcycle. I guess they're not going. So that does help keep the bugs out of your face when it's summertime. There's a lot of them. I mean, you don't get as many driving in these urban areas as you would in a more rural setting, but you still get some bugs. Or you'll go through like a swarm of gnats and end up with some in your mouth if you don't have a full face helmet. And even when you do, you still might get a bunch that come through the mouthpiece or something of your helmet. This is Broadway. That's nice skyline. Sunset going on. It's currently 78 degrees. I believe the building that's up here on the left with the steeples and the clock tower, I believe this is the TARC building for the company TARC that runs the bus system, the Union Station building, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool building, very ornate. You don't have stuff built that looks like that too much anymore. dual sport motorcycles. Some of these, you just pass some of these older warehouse style buildings. They're still around. There's a YMCA. Some other new building that's under construction. Little Poochie was watching me, an old dog. So now I'm on Broadway and 22nd Street. This is a very long road that goes through different parts of town. It goes from downtown. It'll dead end on one side by the Highlands, and you keep going, and it'll go close to like Algonquin Parkway and stuff. But something that's not really been a thing in recent years to the same extent that it used to be is around the Kentucky Derby, people would cruise on Broadway. So they would have their cars, you know, new sound systems and wheels and hydraulics or whatever they wanted to do, and cruise up and down during that that Friday and like Saturday. I know that the police have cracked down on that over the years, so it doesn't happen to the extent that it used to. I'm sure it still happens to some extent though. On the move again. No, I've probably said that phrase a lot. Now it's Broadway and 29th Street. It's getting pretty dark. And I think I left the settings on this GoPro to max out the ISO at 800, so it might be getting a little bit dark. So I'll wrap up this video here in a minute when I find somewhere to turn around. Oh. Alright, well, since I can pull over on the side of the road here, I guess I'll just pull over here to wrap the video up. Yeah, so that was taking the Honda Navi out. I started around in the Highlands area, went to Germantown, went to downtown Louisville, went to Broadway, and went down Broadway. I think it's 37th Street ahead of me, but yeah. So I was taking out the Honda Navi. Until next time.